Each year, deer crossing railroad tracks cause up to 1,000 train collisions. One of the most serious incidents occurs when a train strikes a deer standing beside the tracks. Railway collisions with this species are even more devastating than road accidents. The engineer slams the brakes, but the distance is far too short. If there had been a fence, it might have escaped that danger. In this case, the train driver spotted the flock ahead of time and slowed down to ensure the sheep's safety. In India alone, 2,000 to 3,000 train animal collisions are recorded each year, mostly involving livestock and wildlife. The government has introduced measures like fencing, warning systems, but the problem remains difficult to solve. Even when the train horn echoes across the countryside, a flock of sheep running along the tracks has no idea what's coming. A simple fence could have saved them. A flock of sheep wanders slowly along the tracks, unaware that a massive train is charging toward them with unstoppable force. Even though it tried to run, the poor sheep's fate was inevitable. These recordings serve as a powerful reminder to all engineers and drivers: stay alert. The truck couldn't control its speed on the highway and plowed straight into the flock of sheep, causing the entire vehicle to flip and skid across the road.
Пиздалом.
The frightened sheep dashes across the road without paying attention to the danger around it. Maybe it's time you learned a course on avoiding collisions with wildlife, or at least looked into how to handle emergencies before it's too late. Too fast, too dangerous. Oh no! The crocodile suddenly burst out of the water and attacked the buffalo as it was drinking. The lightning-fast strike made the moment absolutely heart-stopping, laying bare the brutal cruelty of the wild. The problem was that she didn't respect the elephant. You can tell from its trunk that it was only trying to grab the banana, but she kept pulling it away. A dramatic scene unfolded when a massive elephant appeared to protect a buffalo from a pride of lions. At the edge of the forest, a herd of buffalo rose up to show the lions who the real boss is. Their collective strength and sheer determination forced the predators to back down, perfectly showcasing survival instinct and dominance in the wild. This hippo was so enraged that the pride of lions was terrified and dared not come any closer. She panicked after the sudden shove from the horse. The poor horse was caught completely off guard when the dog suddenly charged in, bit it, and leapt onto its back without warning. Run right now. In many rural and suburban areas, shrinking habitats and human pressure are making animals more stressed than ever. Moose are usually calm, but they can now react violently if you get too close. All it takes is a loud noise or a move that makes them feel threatened. They can charge with enough force to send a grown adult flying. The bison, the majestic symbol of the North American plains, is often admired with deep respect for its massive size and calm appearance. However, behind that slow-moving appearance lies one of the most dangerous animals humans can face in the wild. A bison attacked a tourist in the park. On the highway, an 880-pound cow crosses the road, and the driver, unable to control their speed, crashes into it, sending the cow slamming painfully onto the windshield. The camera captured the chaotic scene as several cows slid out of the trailer and fell onto the ground. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured, but the incident shocked many people around the world. The goat is immediately struck by the train, causing it to lose balance and fall into the river. In just one moment of losing control, a deer darts across the road, and the outcome couldn't be worse. Oh no, he was just fishing. The goats and sheep went completely wild, charging around and chasing everyone in every direction. A kangaroo suddenly charged into a bizarre fight with a completely unfamiliar opponent. The two tangled together in the grass, creating a scene that was both hilarious and unbelievable, leaving viewers unsure whether to worry or burst out laughing at this unique situation. This man was trying to rescue the deer, but the panicked animal suddenly turned and attacked him. In the struggle to defend himself, he was forced to break off one of its antlers to escape. Oh no, we were just asking for directions. This deer is absolutely hilarious. Horses, even after thousands of years alongside humans, can still become extremely dangerous when provoked. Their instability is sometimes underestimated until an accident finally happens. What makes horses dangerous isn't their aggressive nature. It's their extreme sensitivity. With extremely powerful muscles, a horse that loses control can cause consequences just as severe as large wild animals. The wild bull went berserk and charged in to attack. It's as if it's begging to be fed. Maybe this horse got dizzy and ended up charging down the road like that. There you go. Failing to keep livestock in designated grazing areas caused them to wander onto the road and disrupt traffic, and thankfully this cow suffered only minor injuries. After the crash on the road, the poor cow was escorted all the way home by the police after a long journey. The sight of the bear sprinting straight into the glass door was far funnier than it ever should have been. Perhaps this pig was simply too eager to break free from the vehicle. With a single charge from the rhino, the buffalo was left in pain and quickly forced to retreat. The heavy rain blocked the driver's visibility, so what was bound to happen, happened. The brutal impact sent the deer flying nearly 50 feet into the air. Under the scorching sun of the savannah, a tense scene unfolded as a herd of wild buffalo worked together to knock down an entire tree in an attempt to rescue a lion cub trapped above. The moment they closed in around the young lion revealed both the terrifying power of the buffalo and the brutal reality of survival in the wild. Luckily, the locals spotted the danger just in time and rushed in to rescue the cow moments before the train came barreling through. Two elephants wandering along the road suddenly turned into a residential area to beg for food, creating a scene that was both unexpected and incredibly adorable. The locals were absolutely delighted by their gentle and friendly behavior, seeing it as a rare and charming moment in the midst of everyday life. That moment nearly made my heart stop from how intense it was, and thankfully the cow made it out safely in the end. Right by the roadside, a warthog was busy foraging for food, completely unaware that a lion was silently closing in from behind. In a single instant, the predator lunged and seized its prey, leaving no chance for escape. On the wild riverbank, the warthog had just caught sight of a lion lurking in the brush when it spun around and fled in panic. In a split-second fight for survival, it suddenly launched itself straight into a natural water pit in a desperate bid to escape. The entire encounter unfolded in a flash, yet brimmed with tension, highlighting the warthog's powerful survival instincts and lightning-fast reflexes when faced with a stalking predator. Judging by that trajectory and speed, I'm convinced the deer is probably still floating in the air by now. Technically speaking, it has officially leveled up into a bird. Looking at these numbers, we can draw a chilling conclusion. True predators are truly terrifying. A cow attacked a drunk man on the roadside, and luckily he was still okay. Cows ran into the streets and caused chaos throughout the community. Many terrifying scenes have been caught on camera. A wild bull smashing through a gate and goring a man into the air. A normally gentle cow suddenly went berserk. A camel kept repeatedly attacking tourists. The mother cow attacked the farm owner to protect her calf. The line between safety and danger has now become more fragile than ever. Residents are advised to limit going outside at night, especially in areas where tigers or wild bulls have been reported. But even during the daytime, attacks by cows and sheep have shown no sign of slowing down. The scene unfolds fast and with overwhelming force, revealing the terrifying power of this wild animal and the hidden danger when humans get too close. The overwhelming force of the herd turns the confrontation into revealing the cruelty and harsh reality of the wild. Run right now. A stray cow suddenly attacks a 70-year-old woman and her grandson in Mahandagar. The entire incident is captured on security camera, showing the cow charging in without warning in a frighteningly dangerous moment that leaves witnesses in total panic. A bison walks up to a crooked fence and uses a few powerful headbutts to fix it, making the fence straighter than before. The unexpected repair job by the bison leaves viewers laughing in surprise. At Yellowstone National Park, a bison suddenly charges straight into a car that is stopped on the road. The powerful impact shocks everyone who sees it, clearly showing the terrifying strength of an agitated bison. A bison suddenly charges forward and slams hard into a car that is stopped on the road. This moment clearly shows the raw power of bison and the danger of getting too close to wild animals. At the zoo, a reckless woman climbs over the fence into the tiger enclosure just to retrieve her hat. This dangerous act leaves everyone around her in shock, because a single small mistake could lead to unimaginable consequences. In Spain, running in front of a herd of bulls is seen as a way to prove courage and the spirit of taking on challenges. However, the festival remains highly controversial due to ongoing concerns over safety and animal welfare. Allowing livestock to wander on the roads without supervision causes serious consequences for the community. Therefore, everyone must raise their sense of responsibility and never allow livestock to roam freely on the roads to ensure public order and overall safety. At a speed of 150 kilometers per hour, this deer likely had no chance of surviving the impact. With a massive body like a grizzly bear, smashing through a fence is simply effortless. Along the riverbank, a brutal battle erupted as the flock fought desperately to defend their nest, while a troop of baboons launched relentless attacks, turning the helpless chicks into what looked like scrambled eggs. The captured moment laid bare the cruelty of nature, where strength and survival instinct always decide the winner. Beneath the river's surface, a shocking scene unfolds as a male deer heartlessly pushes a fawn back into the jaws of a crocodile just moments after it had escaped. In a desperate fight for life, the young deer struggles to climb onto the riverbank, but the male suddenly shoves it with force, sending it tumbling back into the water. Seconds later, the crocodile surges forward and clamps down on the helpless victim, exposing the cold and ruthless brutality of the wild. Along the icy shore, a brutal encounter unfolds between a polar bear and a walrus. The polar bear approaches silently, using the slick ice to move in close, while the massive walrus relies on its sharp tusks and towering body to defend itself. Amid the freezing breaths and crashing waves, the confrontation becomes a stark reminder of the harsh struggle for survival in the world. Deep in the dense forest, a rare moment unfolds as an endangered tiger comes face to face with a wild boar in a tense encounter. The tiger stalks silently from the shadows, while the boar moves cautiously along the riverbank in search of food. When the attack erupts, the entire forest seems to tremble with the sheer power and ferocity of these two rugged survivors. The tiger lunges forward and clamps down on the wild boar, leaving its prey with no chance to fight back. By the riverbank, a breathtaking scene unfolds as a jackal attacks and takes down a stork in a dramatic showdown. The jackal charges in with terrifying speed and determination. The stork struggles desperately to fight back. The clash is brief but fiercely intense, revealing the harsh reality of survival in the wild. Oh no, maybe this little sheep is just trying to find its way back home. Hurry up and give us some food. Oh my goodness. The ending was heartbreakingly bitter because of this guy's prank. In Albania, a male sheep suddenly lost its temper and charged straight at a female shepherd tending the flock. It rammed her repeatedly, forcing her to struggle just to keep her balance. During this period, male elephants experience a surge in hormones that makes them extremely aggressive. If they feel even slightly threatened, they may attack humans, vehicles, or anything that comes into their sight. Elephants sometimes wander into villages, residential areas, or farms in search of food. This can accidentally lead to dangerous encounters with humans. Many incidents happen when vehicles pass through areas where wild elephants live. If a vehicle gets too close or blasts the horn too loudly, the elephant may see it as a threat and immediately charge to attack. Loose management and poor livestock control are causing collisions between trains and animals to increase at an alarming rate. Tightening regulations not only protects livestock, but also ensures the safety of passengers, train operators, and the entire railway system. All right, but who's going to pay for this broken fence? Will this herd of pigs successfully make it across the cliff? A herd of buffalo suddenly charged in at incredible speed and managed to rescue a lion that was being attacked by its own kind. In just a few seconds, this shocking intervention completely turned the situation around. Inside the zoo, a full confrontation between a lion and a tiger was captured on camera. Every tense moment between these two apex predators was revealed. A cow accidentally wandered onto the tracks and got trapped right under the train as it came rushing in. Hey buddy, don't steal my food like that. The clash erupts in an instant as the leopard unleashes its full strength to pin down its opponent. Meanwhile, the zebra thrashes wildly, delivering powerful kicks in a desperate bid to break free. A pack of wild dogs suddenly charges down to the river's edge when they spot one of their own being dragged into the water by a crocodile's crushing jaws. In that chaotic moment, the remaining hurl themselves forward, biting and pulling in a desperate attempt to free their packmate from the killer grip. Beneath the muddy river, where strange ripples hide lurking danger, the lion cubs tremble as they step into the dark water, home to countless fierce crocodiles. Every stroke they take is filled with peril, while on the bank their mother watches in tense silence, ready to dive in at the slightest sign of trouble. Amid the swirling currents, these tiny lions must face a life-or-death trial on their own, creating a moment as breathless as it is emotional. In the quiet stretches of the Sahara, a mother gazelle and her young calf walk leisurely, completely unaware of the danger lurking just ahead. In this strangely silent landscape, every step they take seems to touch the stillness of the desert. But behind a sand dune, a predator lies in wait, watching for the perfect moment of vulnerability. A cheetah suddenly bursts forward, snatches the young gazelle, and carries it up into a tree. On the peaceful grasslands, a male lion strolls in to court a lioness, each step filled with the confidence and presence of a true ruler. But just as the moment turns romantic, a massive buffalo suddenly appears out of nowhere, shattering the calm. It rumbles straight toward the pair, forcing the male lion to tense up instantly, shifting from charming to fully alert. This sudden twist turns the grassland into a stage of surprise and chaos. Overgrazing and poor management let livestock wander onto the roads, especially at dawn and dusk, leading to collisions that are completely unavoidable. It's time to put an end to this. Keep animals within fenced areas to protect both people and nature. A typical example occurred in July 2008 on the Ashland, Kentucky line when a herd of goats suddenly ran across the tracks, leaving the train no time to brake, but fortunately no accident occurred. Grazing livestock near the tracks without any supervision or fencing is extremely dangerous for both the animals and passing vehicles. Clearly, this becomes a deadly trap if drivers don't slow down and stay alert. Shocking footage of severe collisions between cars and deer has sounded an urgent alarm about traffic safety and wildlife protection. In response, community leaders are calling for the development of wildlife-friendly routes, overpasses, tunnels, specialized fencing systems, and increased patrols. Why were they so careless and didn't run back into the car before the tiger attacked? Perhaps driven by hunger, the elephant sneaked into a residential house in search of food. Zoo visitors likely never saw this coming, and it's almost impossible to escape the grip of an orangutan. In your opinion, was this man's action brave or just plain foolish? The price you pay for taking a joke too far. Humans should provide elephants with proper shelter and enough food instead of teasing them and provoking their anger. Hey, calm down, I just wanted to ask for directions. The elephant is actually helping them out because this might be the first time in their lives these gentlemen have ever done any real cardio by running. Perhaps the little lion was simply too excited to be reunited with its owner. It is extremely dangerous when a lion enclosure is not properly secured, leaving everyone around in a state of panic. Oh man, I was just kidding around. The man was incredibly smart to pretend to lie still in order to distract the gaur. A split-second scene was captured in Kodaikanal. While foraging along the road, a bison suddenly flew into a rage and charged at nearby people. The attack left 2 people injured. One careless moment, one step too far, and you could come face to face with primal power that nothing can stop. Meanwhile, in areas near the forest, the presence of bears has become a constant concern. When food becomes scarce, they leave the forest, wander into people's backyards, raid trash bins, or attack livestock. In one case caught on camera inside a convenience store, a bear charged straight in searching for food. Luckily, the shop owner remained safe. In many cases, bears become aggressive when they are discovered. This directly puts local people in danger. Horses have long been seen as animals closely bonded with humans. They are strong, intelligent, and loyal. But behind that free-spirited beauty lies an unpredictable power. The horse yanked the reins and sent the rider flying. It suddenly went berserk in the stable and lashed out, kicking its owner. Oh man, it looks like the second bear is actually searching for the one who locked it up. That's terrifying. When you feel that first tug, that's when you should be running as fast as you can, my friend. What were you even thinking at that moment? You'll probably never forget this chase. Some prey animals seem to fall into extreme shock the moment they're attacked. They barely try to escape and simply lie still while being bitten. In a dramatic moment, the rhino suddenly charges forward, forcing the lions to stumble back in fear. It looks like they're about to start a fight. zoo, a battle between a lion and a tiger captures the full intensity of two of the most powerful predators. With raw audio and sharp visuals, this clash keeps viewers glued to the screen with its sheer drama and ferocity. Maybe this horse was running down the road with a bit of night blindness. Maybe this moose should be a bit more careful when crossing the road. Judging by the trajectory and the speed, I'd say that deer is probably still flying through the air right now. Technically speaking, it has become a bird. Cows suddenly rush into the streets, dairy cows go berserk from being provoked, sheep become unusually aggressive, and even wild bulls are now showing up right in the middle of residential areas. As a result, dangerous attacks are increasing day by day, like a warning we can no longer ignore. What is causing these seemingly gentle animals to suddenly turn aggressive? And why are predators like tigers appearing more often near residential areas? In many rural areas, the combination of shrinking habitats and excessive human encroachment has left animals more stressed than ever. All it takes is a loud noise or a small provocation, and they can charge with enough force to knock a grown adult flying. Meanwhile, in areas near the forest, the presence of bison has become a constant nightmare. Many families live in fear every time night falls, because a single moment of carelessness can lead to disaster. A dairy cow jumped off the truck right in front of the stunned farm owner. A kangaroo attacked a tourist even though a trainer was right there trying to stop it. This safety net is painfully fragile, and it feels like a single burst of a tiger's rage could tear it apart in an instant. For example, Grandma Anna was seriously injured after a cow attack. However, just like in many places around the world, not every family receives the full amount of support they truly need. They can become extremely dangerous, whether it's a dairy cow, a small sheep, or a massive bull. Sheep may look gentle, but sometimes they turn into surprise attackers. Many cases have been recorded where sheep charged at pedestrians, knocking them down and causing serious injuries. Their aggression is often underestimated until an accident finally happens.